right, Coach. Just start off with just talk about how you had to step in today, or Coach Kennedy, and talk about the game.
Yeah, well, first off, when he gave us the notification this morning, the staff on our staff chat, initially I thought that he was pulling our leg, but he was not. And so as a staff, we felt like the young ladies had a good preparation after Thursday's game, so we knew that we were going to be ready to play. But I also believe that the girls really wanted to try to play hard for themselves, first of all. They want to play hard for Coach Kennedy because they were sad that he wasn't feeling well, and then they wanted to make sure that with me as the acting head coach, that they want to make sure that that I put them in the in the best position as far as balking out, start calling out instructions, keeping them engaged and stuff like that.
I guess the first thing is you got it to within 12, and you got the ball, but then you had a turnover. It was like you were one step away. Did you feel that way? Like that would have been the momentum switch that you would still had a chance at 3 minutes?
Absolutely, and that's one thing that I told the young ladies that the last time Lamar played a game that close at halftime was against Houston Christian, and the second half they wound up blowing it out the water and winning, by like 40. And I told the young ladies in the second half, I said, we just need to give ourselves a chance in the fourth quarter. Just give ourselves a chance. And when we got it to that number, we were like, let's try to take care of the ball and stuff that we worked on. But because of our lapse in judgment, it kind of hurt us. So that kind of killed the momentum. But we really are proud of how they even afterwards they still fought to the end. And so one of the things, one of our points of emphasis was to make sure that we stayed aggressive going to the basket. And I don't know if y'all noticed, we did not shoot as many threes as we usually do because we wanted to make sure we get paint touches and try to be more aggressive. And so we're really proud of the young ladies because of that.
You did seem like you were more aggressive, especially on the back end of once you broke the press, but you weren't able to finish enough shots. Is that the next step?
That is definitely the next step. And like I said, it is a work in progress. Obviously, we want some of those shots back. I will say that I believe some of those may have been a little bit of contact, but but at the same time, we still have to learn how to finish. I always tell the young ladies, get the 3 point play, settle for two. Get the 3 point play, but settle for two. And we got a couple of and ones out of it, but a couple of them we wish we can get back. But at the same time, the, the initial step was being able to, once a team tries to press us, to make sure that we make them pay for it. And I think we did that a little bit in the first half because they tried that initially and we had some success and we started breaking it and attacking. So they got out of it. So that's a credit to the young ladies because we haven't done that recently. And so now, like how you said, it's going to be the next step of making sure that when somebody else tries to do that, we make them pay for it.
Still, though, too many. It didn't seem like too many times you got caught at the side right after the half court.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we did talk to the player about. Like, you don't want to get caught there, and a lot of times it's just a simple thing of a ball reversal, but because of the moment, and you're seeing the clock, and you're thinking about the 10-second violation, obviously a lapse in judgment. Obviously, we're going to get better from that. And I've talked to them about that during the timeout, and I told them we'd rather have dead ball turnover than live ball turnover because we don't want to do a live ball and then they go the other way and score left. And I think we did a really good job of that today. We limited those compared to the previous games in which that the large leads that teams got was because we were throwing it to them and they was going the other way. The other turnovers that we had, either was we were throwing it in the bleachers or a 10-second count, but at least we got a chance to get back and play defense and get stops. And we held them to one of their lowest percentages in conference today as far as shooting compared to the other games.
Moving forward, I guess the question is he going to make the trip? Do you know, or is that a still to be determined? Or
If you know Lynn Kennedy, he's gonna get on. He's gonna get on that bus. Now we have now. He's gonna make the trip, and so obviously with our administration with the weather going on, we're gonna try to decide how we want to try to handle it because we have to make that trek, in possible bad weather. But make no mistake about it, if his heart is beating, then Kennedy gonna be there.
is there any talk about moving it to Friday or something for an extra day of travel? Or?
We haven't heard anything from the conference office. We're probably hearing it. They're probably watching the weather and monitoring it because there are a lot of schools in our conference that could be affected by it. So I'm sure our administration, along with the Southland, they're going to get with them and find out what's the best course of action. And of course, they'll be watching the Weather Channel profusely.
The other thing today is they obviously have a big presence inside, and they got some extra touches. Kind of like you gave up some extra baskets. Was it kind of a case of different possessions and they had too many offensive rebounds too?
Yeah, we still gave up too many offensive rebounds. Now, let's make no mistake about it. Akasha Davis is one of the best, if not the best, post player in the conference. There's a reason why she's been all conference and all of that. I think our young ladies battled valiantly. I thought the effort was really, really good, especially compared to Thursday. But she's a different beast, and she's really good. And because of us blocking out, one thing we told the young ladies is that we cannot assume that if a shot goes up, that your teammate is going to get the rebound. Don't trust none of your teammates. You go get the ball. We had both of y'all fight over and say, I got it, and then let it go instead of relying on somebody else. And I think a couple of times that happened.
I guess he was healthy enough to get a tee though.
Yes, and I had to tap him on his leg. I told him he was too riled up, and of course I was trying to talk to the officials, and I told the officials that I thought for the most part they did a decent job. But one of the things that I thought that they could have did a little bit for us is that when we started driving to the paint and attacking the basket, we saw a lot of two hands on us, and so that's an impediment, which means that's technically a foul. They didn't call it, but once again, I always tell the young ladies, make the 3-point play, if not, accept the 2.
Coach, I'm just curious, when you got it down to 12, and clearly at some point in that last quarter, Hillary found some tempo. She was aggressive, picked up 3 charges.
Yes.
She was the one girl hitting shots inside and out. Why wouldn't you feed her the ball more? Why wouldn't you have an offense when you're fighting to come back and possibly get back into low single digits? Why would you not feed your best player in your best year?
Well, I don't know if you watched it, but when we got it down, it was because of Paris Guillory, and we ran offensive sets for her, and that's how she was able to get it. And you also have to understand that in this game against Lamar, now obviously as coaches, we always evaluate film to look to see what we can do better. What I will say is that Lamar has the lowest, gives up the lowest amount of points in the conference. We outplayed that. And I think for us, it starts for us on the defensive end. That is the reason why I think we got into the ball game, because they shot one of their lowest percentages in conference play today. Now, offensively, is there a thing that we could do better? Yeah, but you know what? Not on the Paris Guillory, but you know what? A few of our other players could be a little bit better too. And teams know about Paris Guillory. We've seen boxing one on her. We tried to run screens on her and things like that. So we're going to get better on it. It is a continual process. It's a continual process. We'll look at film and we'll get better from it.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.